The Axiom Pro features a semi-weighted keyboard that responds extremely well to any type of instrument that you might find yourself playing, like a piano. The TrueTouch technology feels great, especially with instruments that have an extended dynamic range like the Mini Grand that comes with Pro Tools 8. The keyboard just feels more natural to play. With electric pianos, TrueTouch makes it feel like you're actually digging in to the keyboard. The keyboard also feels great for synth bass, especially with legato slides. And of course for organ patches, just running your hand across the manual. The keyboard just feels unbelievable, as do the 8 assignable pressure sensitive trigger pads that make a great place to program all of your percussion tracks. The pads just feel solid, and the touch sensitivity will satisfy even the most seasoned drum programmer. There are 4 banks of trigger pads for a total of 32 pads, and because these pads can also trigger ASCII keystrokes like your QWERTY keyboard, these pads will soon become an integral part of your production workflow, and we'll take a look at that in a little bit. Now, we all know that playing the actual keyboard and programming all of the parts during the recording session are only part of the equation. Navigating the session is just as important, and the built-in transport makes it easy to do. Built-in fast forward, rewind, I don't know if I will find you. Play, stop, and of course a record button, all at your fingertips right above the keyboard, making it easy for you to control playback during your different takes. Now, the shift key can be used in conjunction with other transport buttons so that you can turn on and off loop playback or loop record. If you use it with the stop button, that is going to perform the undo function, and then you can go to beginning or go to end of song. And these functions all serve to make your sessions easier to handle. Now, above the transport are 8 endless rotary encoders that feature variable acceleration. Turn them slowly to dial in a specific value, or turn them fast to jump from low to high values instantly. And under hyper control, the encoders are automatically mapped and ready to go with the plugins that you're using. The encoders give you smooth movement all the way across your edit. No jumping of parameters here. Awesome. Now, the Axiom Pro offers 9 40mm faders. The first 8 of them can take control of your Pro Tools channels. The function keys will let you bank either forwards or backwards to control the next or the previous set of 8 channels within Pro Tools or whichever other digital audio workstation you're using. Now, the nulling functionality, together with the display, always ensures that you know the position of the on-screen fader relative to the fader on the Axiom Pro. When I grab the fader, you'll notice it doesn't move the on-screen fader until it connects with the null point. Nice. Now, if your session has a master fader, the 9th fader on the Axiom Pro is dedicated to controlling this very important channel. Now, directly below the sliders, you're going to find the illuminated fader buttons, and these offer up a variety of different functions, from selecting your channels to record enabling, muting, and also soloing. And you control their function with the 9th button below the master fader. It toggles around the 4 different functions. The 128x64 multifunction LCD display is the heart of the Axiom Pro's power. It lets you see at a glance all aspects of the Axiom Pro. And with hypercontrol enabled, the display is able to accurately reflect the current status of your Pro Tools session, displaying track names, volume, and pan information, and any other parameter that you happen to be working with. And because hypercontrol is bidirectional, any changes you make to your actual digital audio workstation will be reflected right there on the display. You can see it moving as I bring up the volume and change my panning. The 4 buttons directly below the display, they're referred to as the soft keys, and they execute one of 4 main functions at the bottom of the display. Now these soft keys will change depending on where you navigate to. To the right of the soft keys are the edit and the zone group buttons. You're going to become very well acquainted with the edit button once you begin to customize all aspects of the Axiom Pro. To the left of the soft keys are the load and the save buttons. Below that, the F keys, F1 through F7. Under hypercontrol, these F keys perform dedicated functions such as selecting next or previous track, muting, soloing, and banking. Now on the far left hand side of the Axiom Pro, you're going to find the numerical keypad. And we use this to input data when we're editing the Axiom Pro, such as changing the MIDI channel. You can use them to fire off ASCII key commands, or you can use the plus and minus keys to zoom in and out on your session. Below the numerical keypad are the data buttons that function in a variety of different ways, but they mainly serve to shift the octave range of the keyboard either up or down. Now below that are the pitch wheel and the modulation wheel that feel amazing to the touch. Last but not least, the rear side of the Axiom Pro is where you're going to make all of your external connections. You've got your power button, USB, built-in MIDI I/O, and then an input for your sustain and your expression pedal. So there you have it. The Axiom Pro is an incredible keyboard that gives you unprecedented control over nearly every function in your digital audio workstation. And it's all thanks to hypercontrol, the software that's built right into this incredible keyboard.